What's up now?
Okay, no, I feel blind. Huh? All right. So you keep that open, right? So you have to use your phone now. You have to use your phone. You have to use your phone. You can't end the stream now. No. Sorry, you can't end the not the stream. You can end the share screen.
Right now, I'm not even see stop share button.
Seriously?
Seriously? All right, I'm see it.
All right. So you're on live now. So you can admit the student now. You can admit the other student. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to leave you now. All right. All right. So I can leave now, ma'am. May I leave now? May I leave now?
Sure.
Okay.
But you were saying something about phone.
Oh, no, I never you. I Miss Brown with that tell her open her mic. I don't know why she don't open her mic. But I'm not seeing her in the chat. Oh, you have to just tell Athena to open her mic here. Later.
All right.
Yeah.
Miss?
Yes, good night. Good
Good
night.
night. It's Nastasia.
Hi, Anastasia.
Miss, I only do one of the red sheet. For the next one I do part what I don't understand it, so I did not send it in. The one with let me see.
Well, all right. Let us start first, Anastasia, and then we go.
Devotion. Okay.
Okay, so good night, everybody. Good night. Good night. Sorry that I took so long, but we were trying to sort out something for the YouTube live. We're also having some issues with the live worksheets tonight. So we're not sure what's going to happen about that part. But I must apologize. Sorry for being late. We're gonna start off, gonna kick it off again like usual. We're gonna start off with devotion. And for devotion tonight, I'm going to be reading from the Daily Bread. And the reading is entitled Shift into Neutral. And it's focused around 1 Kings 19 and verse 12. Shift into neutral. The man ahead of me at the car wash was on a mission. He purposefully strode to the back of his pickup and removed the hitch so it wouldn't snag the high-powered rolling brushes. He paid the attendant, then pulled onto the automated track where he left his truck in drive. The attendant shouted after him, "Neutral, neutral!" But the man's windows were up and he couldn't hear. He zipped through the car wash in 4 seconds flat. His truck barely got wet. Elijah was on a mission too. He was busy serving God in big ways. He had just defeated the prophets of Baal in the supernatural showdown, which left him drained. He needed time in neutral. God brought Elijah to Mount Horeb, where he had appeared to Moses long ago. Once again, God shook the mountain, but he wasn't in the rock-shattering wind, earthquake, or raging fire. Instead, God came to Elijah in a gentle whisper. When Elijah heard it, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out to meet God. You and I are on a mission. We put our lives in drive to accomplish big things for our Savior. But if we never shift down to neutral, we can zip through life and miss the outpouring of his spirit. God whispers, "Be still," and to know that I am God. Psalm 46 and verse 10. Neutral, neutral. So for reflection, the questions are, how do you slow down to spend time with your Father? Why is time in neutral necessary for driven people? We'll sing, "Create in me a clean heart, O Lord," and we reflect on these words, after which we'll repeat the Lord's Prayer. But just keep in mind that we must not just rush through life. At times, we need to go in neutral. As it said in the reading a while ago, we need to go in neutral in order to focus on the mission that ahead of us. Create in me a clean heart, O Lord, and renew a right spirit within me. Create in me a clean heart, O Lord, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, O Lord, and take not thine Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of my salvation, and renew a right spirit within me. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen.
thank you very much for joining. Okay, I was talking to myself a while ago. Sorry about that. All right, so I was saying that just remember the thought is not to just, there's a popular song that says, me just a cut and go through cause love in my heart. But tonight, I'm just encourage you not to cut and go through tonight. Not to cut and go through life just like that, because there are a whole lot of things that you won't get to accomplish if you're just cutting and going through. As the reading says, we are to put it in neutral, put things in neutral, go slowly, and so that we will commit the mission that God has in store for us. All right, so with that said, let's hear what Nastasia was saying first before we jump into the lesson. Oh, and welcome, Athena. Welcome.
Thanks.
Miss, was saying that I did not complete the irony worksheet because I did not really understand that much. But I will do some parts, but I did not submit it.
All right. Anybody else had the same problem? Was it that you didn't understand irony, or was it that the worksheet itself, how the worksheet set up?
How the worksheet is set up, Miss.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think I can remedy that, except that I can't go into that. Can't go into that no, because and all right, as I was saying, something about the worksheet. They're telling me that I should confirm something, but I'm not seeing the email from them. All right, so tonight, instead of using the email address, the English email address, we probably have to use the first email address, the one with my name in it. You might have to use those emails.
Miss, because I was trying the new one and it not going through, so I used the old one.
Okay. All right. So tonight, though, we should be starting parts of speech. But let us do a little recap before we go into the new lesson. All right. So the persons who are here with me while we were going through the figures of speech, just go ahead. I'm going to give you the chance now to tell me about one or two of the figures of speech that we did that you can quickly remember off the top of your head.
Metaphor,
Simile.
personification,
All right, so person said, hold on. One person said metaphor and personification. Tell me what is metaphor, tell me what is personification.
for personification, like give an object qualities or ability to like in a human form. Let me I'm gonna explain it in my own way.
Give me a
Like when I make something come to life,
give me a sentence.
for example, like they would have said the tree dance, although we know that a tree cannot dance. So
You cannot dance. All right, good example. All right, metaphor. You said metaphor, simile.
One.
metaphor you compare two things together that are unlike.
Give me an example.
Like you compare a human with an animal.
Can you think of a sentence quickly?
She's a cat.
Is that cat? All right, thank you very much, Nastasia. Deja, I'm seeing your hand up. You can go next, Deja.
Miss upon and simile.
The microphone is being muted.
Which I said pun and simile.
Pun and a simile. All right, so give me the definition. What is a pun? What's a simile?
A pun is words that sound alike but have different meaning. And a simile is when you use like or as.
Like or as. Give me an example of both. And
Cold as ice and for pun bear and bear.
Give me the two beer that you're talking about.
BEAR and BER and BE.
I don't know why your microphone keeps muting. So we can talk about bare feet, as in BARE feet, and we can talk about the animal bear. All right. Anybody else? Simone, you want to be going next? Simone. All right, not hearing from Simone as yet. Simone soon come on.
Miss,
Yes.
Miss, I have one more.
All right, go ahead.
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah, a word that simulates the sound it represents. Sorry, not simulate, imitate.
Imitate. All right, give me an example of onomatopoeia.
Water splash on the floor.
Water splash on the floor. All right, so they basically with the onomatopoeia, the word and the sound they actually is alike. The sound is actually the word, something like that. All right, so very good, very good, very good. All right, so do you want to add any, Athena? Do you remember
Simile.
any that you want to add?
We have simile. Term.
All right, yes, simile. Somebody mentioned simile.
Proverbs.
Go ahead and tell us. We didn't do that one. What was that one?
Proverbs. Proverbs shows a different type of feature or terms of other types of writing or speech, like novel, story, poem, essay, and so.
All right, so it's not really, what should I say, a distinctive part of speech, but thank you very much, Athena. Thank you very much for sharing. All right, so we're going now to, figure of speech. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going now to, oh my, I just said some parts of speech and figure of speech. All right, so tonight our topic is going to be parts of speech. So we're finished with figures of speech. We're finished with figures of speech. And so we are going to do parts of speech. But I just missed up a while ago and said parts of speech when I was addressing Athena. Sorry about that, Athena. You are correct. All right. So parts of speech now. We already, I am sure that everybody here knows at least 4 different parts of speech. I have no doubt about that. So I am going to tell you now, off the top of your head, in the chat, quickly, give me the names of two parts of speech. No, 4 parts of speech that you can think about real quickly in the chat.
So just use that one, a noun.
Yes.
It's
Adjective.
to you or to everybody.
Miss,
Everybody.
I will just tell you, Miss.
No, I want to see
Noun,
everybody's
verb,
chat because it's going to
adjective.
overlap. If some persons are going to be saying the same thing. That is why I want you to just write it real quick.
Okay.
All right, so I get some Simone's already. Nastasia. All right, so Nastasia came to me directly, and I can tell you now that the ones that Simone have, Nastasia have the same thing. And that is why I didn't want you to say it out aloud, because I want to see how much persons are going to come with different messages. So send me your message directly, Deisha and Athena. Deisha directly.
You see what I'm saying? Some different one.
All right, hold on, Anastasia. All right, send me yours, Athena, quickly. All right, so I got 3 different ones from Deisha. Send me 2 more, Anastasia. Okay, so this is going to be our topic for tonight, parts of speech.
Please, I send you next one, okay?
Yes, I saw it. I just looked a while ago. All right, so Athena, no. All right. So Athena, adjectives, nouns, pronouns, verbs. All right. So that means we're not going to be spending a whole lot of time. All right. All right. Very good, Nastasia. So I think I probably saw all the 8 figures of parts of speech a while ago. Yes. So we're going to just jump into it now, because everybody knows the different parts of speech. So I don't have a lot of work to do on this topic. Very good. All right. So by looking at the screen, you should have already seen that the topic again, parts of speech. Let me quickly. All right. So, hi, Stacy. Verbs, adjectives, pronouns. All right. Yes, Stacy, I see it. Very good. All right. So let's go back to the parts of speech now. And the first thing we want to know is the purpose of parts of speech. Why do we have parts of speech? We just talked about figures of speech a while ago. Why are we now talking about parts of speech? Well, parts of speech, they are essential to proper grammar. With parts of speech, it helps us to learn and execute proper sentence structure. And something for you to know, something for you to remember, is you cannot give somebody a word and ask them what part of speech is that word. Say, for example, I'm gonna give you a word, bumpy. So I give you this word, I say bumpy, and I ask you, class, what part of speech is the word bumpy? Can you tell me what part of speech is the word bumpy?
Adjective.
Somebody say adjective. Anybody else? Everybody agree that it's an adjective? What part of speech is the word bumpy?
Adjective.
Adjective. Somebody else say adjective. Anybody else with a different answer? Stacy is an adjective too. Where's Deisha? Deisha, you say adjective?
Yes, Miss, I was the first one that said it.
All right, Athena, is it an adjective? The word bumpy, is it an adjective?
Yes, adjective.
It's an adjective. Nastasia, you agreed too?
Yes, miss.
Come on, you too? All right.
Yes.
Really, everybody says it's an adjective. What if I tell you that bumpy is actually a noun? Do you think that's possible? Talk to me now, guys. Bumpy. Do you think it's possible for the word bumpy to be a noun?
You know, so actually could have been one known because I know is a what name of a place thing. Okay.
All right, I hear Athena. Diesha, could bumpy be a noun? Simone, answer me no man.
Yeah.
All right, so bumpy. Yes, Stacy man, it could be a noun. What if I say Bumpy and I went to school this morning. Isn't bumpy used as a noun right there?
Yeah,
Yes, miss, because I use it as a name.
of a
Exactly,
person.
because I use it as a name of a person. So
Mhm.
bumpy can be a noun and it can be adjective as well. So that is why now my original statement that somebody cannot possibly give you a word and say to you what part of speech is that word. They must use that word in a sentence, because how that word is used in a sentence then determines the part of speech it is used as. Get it now, guys?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
All right. So all right. So some parts of speech. Here are some parts of speech now. Noun, and I already got these from everybody else. Noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. And I got all these parts of speech tonight when I asked you what are the different parts of speech that you knew. I got all these answers already, and that is great. It then tells me that I won't have a lot of work to do when it comes on to part of speech. So the first thing that we're going to be touching, the first part of speech that we're going to be touching is, and I don't know why it's not skipping, you know.
Miss, when you're finished, can you upload the slide?
I will. No, I can't upload it as yet.
Okay.
I need to add some more things to it. All right. So noun, the first one we're going to be touching is noun. And everybody knows already what a noun is. We all know that some persons just say noun are naming words. We go as far as saying noun names the name of a person, place, animal, or thing. We even have this noun games that we play where we write down people, place, animal, and thing on paper, and we write them down. What do you call it? ABC, fast or slow. Yes. With that game, we use all nouns. All right. I'm not hearing somebody said something, but I don't know who because I didn't hear the person properly. All right. So the function of a noun in a sentence is to provide answers to basic questions. Who or what is involved? Look at the examples below. The example says, New York City is a very beautiful city. And the question, this sentence answer is what? What is very beautiful? New York City is very beautiful. What is very beautiful? And the answer would, of course, be New York City, which is the noun. The second sentence, the second example says, the boy walked home from school. Now, what question would this answer? Who or what?
The boy.
All right, so it answers who, and you say the boy. Here, Boy is the noun. All right, I need to check. I had minimized my screen a while ago, but it's not staying that way. Oh my, I'm going to be logged off. Deisha,
Yes, miss.
where are the others?
Miss, they're still on.
Not seeing, I only see you. Hold on. Oh, I seen Athena now. All right, I'm seeing everybody now. All right, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that a while ago. So that my computer have a mind of its own. All right. So let me share again. All right. So those are our examples. So in this sentence, of course, boy is a noun. Are there any other nouns in this sentence?
School.
School. All right. Well, I think I was trying to skip this now. All right. So now we're talking about characteristics of nouns. So nouns, they can either be abstract or concrete. They can be proper noun or common noun. It can be singular or plural. And we have some nouns that are collective nouns. These are different characteristics of nouns. Abstract or concrete, because you might have heard persons talking about abstract nouns or concrete nouns. Proper nouns, common nouns, singular nouns and plural nouns, and we also have collective nouns. So let us go through now so that we can differentiate first between abstract and concrete nouns. All right. So when it comes on to our concrete nouns, a concrete noun is a noun that can be touched or seen. For example, the boy walked home from school. We know that we can touch and we can also see a boy. We can touch and we can also see school. Those are the nouns that you listed for this sentence. So when it comes on to concrete, just picture it as concrete that we use to make houses. We can see the concrete and we can touch the concrete. Concrete tough. We can touch it. So just think about concrete nouns as the literal concrete. We can see it and we can touch it. So once we can see the noun and touch the noun, you know that it is called concrete nouns. An abstract noun now is something that is intangible. It cannot be seen or touched. For example, she was looking for love. What is the noun in this sentence?
Love.
Love. Integrity is an important virtue. By the way, can you touch or feel love?
No.
No, me.
No, we cannot touch it. We can't touch it, we can't feel it. All right. So then the difference between abstract and concrete nouns are pretty simple. One of them is tangible, can be touched, can be seen. And the other, it is intangible, cannot be seen, cannot be touched. So love and integrity, as we say, cannot be seen nor touched, and it makes them abstract nouns. So the nouns here, love, integrity. All right, let us go now to proper and common nouns. Let me go back first. Can anybody remind me what a proper noun is? Anybody? Can anybody remind me what a proper noun is? I don't know why these ladies are not talking tonight. All right, let's go. A proper noun is
There's something to do with singulars.
a proper noun is a special place, or yes, a special name given to a particular noun. So a special name given to a place, a person, a thing, or an idea. The first letter of the proper noun should be capitalized. So as in my sentence that I gave earlier with Bumpy, Bumpy and I went to school yesterday. What would be the proper noun in that sentence?
Let's read the sentence back over.
Bumpy and I went to school yesterday. What is the proper noun in that sentence?
Bumpy.
Bumpy. And so bumpy, not only because it is the first word in the sentence, why the initial letter should be capitalized, but because it is a proper noun. If the sentence says, yesterday, Bumpy and Leroy went to the river, what are the proper nouns?
Bumpy and Leroy.
Bumpy and Leroy, and therefore they're in the middle of the sentence this time, and they should begin with a capital letter. No, that's for proper nouns. When it comes down to common nouns now, you are referring to a type of thing or a whole class. So you're not giving anything any particular name. You're not giving anything any special names. You're generalizing this time. And when you're generalizing, then you don't need to capitalize the first letters. Those are called common nouns. They're common. So if you're talking about the cars, if you're talking about the cars were beautiful. What is the noun in that sentence?
Cars.
The cars. And cars there is a general word because you have millions of cars. So it is a general statement, a general word. So therefore it is a common noun and we do not need to capitalize it, only if you start the sentence. Now if I say that Porsche is exquisite, what's the noun in that sentence?
Please repeat.
That Porsche is exquisite.
The Porsche.
Yes. And so we would have to, that is a proper noun. And it is that car is given, the car this time is given a special name. And therefore we know that we should capitalize. All right. Some other examples are below. The first one says, Hopkins Hospital is an important hospital. So with the first one, you should realize that Hopkins is not only capitalized right there because it begins a sentence, but it is the name of the hospital. Because you should realize that at the end of the sentence here, the word hospital is not capitalized, but out here, the name of the hospital, you see, even here, the word hospital is not capitalized, just the name of the hospital is capitalized. Now, Manchester United Football Club is a very popular club. It's a very popular club. Of course, the proper noun in this sentence is Manchester United. That is a special name of the football club. All right, did I lose anybody? Everybody get this? Can I go on?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Singular and plural nouns. So in most cases, nouns can be transformed from a plural, from a singular to a plural by adding S or ES. So if I say, if I have one girl, it would be many what?
Girls.
Girls. Ending with what? S or ES?
S.
S. Oh, so here are the examples. For example, the girl becomes girls and box become boxes. So these are cases when we pluralize a noun by adding just S in the case of girl and ES in the case of box for it to become boxes. But there are other nouns that take irregular form of a plural, such as child and children. Man becomes men and person becomes people. So these now are irregular verbs. They are irregular form of plural verbs because we did not add a S nor a ES. You realize for children, we add an REN. For man, we change the A to E. And for person, the word completely changed to people. So these are irregular forms of nouns, irregular forms of plural nouns. So again, let's go back. Nouns can be abstract or concrete. The concrete ones are called tangible ones, and they can be seen and touched. We can feel them. For the abstract nouns are intangible. We cannot see them, nor can we touch them. And we said that the two examples of abstract nouns are used in this sentence: love for this sentence and integrity for this one. We went on further and we spoke about proper and common nouns. And we said that proper nouns are the special names given to those different nouns, special names given to a particular place, a particular person, thing, or even an idea. And we begin these words with a capital letter. For the common nouns now, they're referring to a whole thing or to a whole class or to a whole group. The first letters of common nouns, they are not capitalized. And then we went further now and we spoke about plural and common nouns. Not plural, singular, sorry. Singular and plural nouns. Singular and plural nouns. So we said that the singular nouns is, of course, that's when we're talking about one person, one thing. The boy, the cow, the bike, the child. Those are all singular nouns. But those can be transformed or changed to plural nouns. And in most cases, a singular noun is changed to a plural noun by adding S or ES. And examples are given. The girl, which is a singular noun, we add an S and it becomes girls, which is now plural. Another example, box, it ends with an X, and we add an ES to make it plural. We said that there are other nouns that we call them irregular nouns. Irregular nouns, we don't add S or ES to make them plural. Something is usually changed in those words, and some examples are given. Child is changed to children. A REN is added. So child becomes children, man becomes men, and person becomes people. Those are different forms or different characteristics of noun. So now, inside your chat, I am going to be pasting something. It's just something about regular and irregular verbs. On the paper itself, there are some rules. And rule number 1 states noun plus S, and that is for the liquor, the regular nouns. So bags, to change from singular to plural, it would be the noun and you add an S, or in some cases, would add ES. So for bags, we had S to it to get bags. There's another rule too, that when the words ends with a X, O, CH, SH, SS, and I want you to write these down when you see them on the sheet. These are things that you need to remember when changing from a singular to a plural verb. So just jot these down or take a screenshot of it in order for you to remember. There are also some other types of irregular plurals that you will see on the list. I'm going to send you the link now in the chat. All right, check the chat now. The link is there in the chat. Let me add the email that you need to send it to, see if I can remember it. I think that's the email that you need to send it to. Anybody finish that yet?
Almost.
All right, so Deasia and Athena and Simone. You guys can go ahead and click the other link. That one is about abstract and concrete nouns. We're not going to be doing any on proper and common nouns. That one should be pretty straightforward.
Just how to work.
That's who knows. Nastasia?
Miss.
I'm hearing you. You're not hearing me? You're not hearing me? Who is talking?
Yes, Miss, I'm hearing you.
All right, I'm
Yes,
refreshing.
I'm hearing you.
I'm refreshing my page. I'm refreshing my page to see if anything else pops up. So I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing work from Athena, Deasia, and Simone. Not seeing Nastasia's. All right, I'm seeing it now, no, Nastasia. All right, guys, let's go through the rules. Let's go through the rules. So rule number 1, if it is, say for example, let me give you an example. Boy. And I think right, all right, let me use one of these, bag. The word bag is singular. Now to pluralize this noun, we would simply add an S to that noun. Same thing for books, same thing for chairs. Now, if we get a word such as fox that ends with X, if the word ends with CH, like church, if it ends with SH, like brush, if it ends with SS, which noun can I find with SS quickly? All right, I can't think of one, no. Or if it ends with O, all we need to do is add an S. And I want you to copy that. I want you to get that much. So if it ends with S, SS, SH, CH, X, or O, all we do is we add an S. Now, rule number 3. Rule number 3, if you have a noun and it ends with a consonant plus Y, we're going to do what? Remove the Y and add IES. Let me go again. Rule number 3. If we have a word ending with a consonant plus Y, we're going to remove the Y and add IES. For example, the word baby, it ends with AY. All right, let me see, somebody is saying something in the chat. All right, I will look at that afterwards. All right, so we're at rule number 3. So the example is there, B-A-B, Y for baby. So B is a consonant plus the Y. We're going to remove the Y and we're going to add IES. Same thing for berries, B-E-R-R-Y. So there's a Y in, there's a consonant, which is the R, in front of the Y. So once it ends with a consonant, then the Y, we're going to remove the Y and we're going to add IES. Everybody understand that part? Now, guys, if you don't answer me, I don't know if you understand or not.
Yes.
No, remember that all the letters in the alphabet that are, as long as they're not vowels, they're called consonants. So the letters of the alphabet, they are categorized in 2. You have the vowels, 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U. Everything else, they're called consonants. So any word that is not a vowel followed by a Y, when we're going to pluralize those nouns, we have to remove the Y and add IES. But if the words end with a vowel, then a Y, we don't take off anything. All we need to do is add an S. Rule number 5. For rule number 5, if the word ends with F or FE, we're going to take off the FE or take off the F, and we're going to add VES. Those are the 5 rules, and I want you to ensure that you copy those rules and go back through. Anybody don't understand any of the rules? Anybody want?
Can you go back over 1 and 2, please?
1 and 2. All right. If you give me a noun, any noun. Give me a simple noun. I think it's not Satya just start. Give me a simple noun. Television. That's a noun. Television. So rule number 1, if you're going to change a simple noun like that, television, to plural, all we need to do is add S. If I have a cup and I'm going to change that to cups, all I need to do is add S. So it would be the noun plus S. I just add S to pluralize it. For rule number 2, though, if the word ends with an S, SS, SH, CH, X, or O, we're going to do what? We're going to add ES. That is the time when we actually add ES. So I'm thinking of an example, another example, except for foxes. Earlier on, we used box. Box, because box ends with an X, we have to pluralize it, we have to just use EX. Right? To pluralize it, we add EX. Let me think of another example. Church. Church is CHURCH. So in order to pluralize church, we need to just remember the rule. Once it ends with a CH, to pluralize, we're going to add ES. And the list continues for rule, those words ending with those letters in rule number 2. Any other rule that I need to go through again, guys?
Excuse me, Miss.
Yes,
Miss, you saw the second work for me?
not yet.
Yes, I send it in.
Yeah, man, I soon look at it. All right, for the irregular nouns, those are different. For the irregular nouns, something in those nouns will change. So for example, fish, if we have one fish, we have many fish. One sheep, many sheep. One salmon, many salmon. One deer, many deer. So those are some irregular plurals. Some of them remains the same. Some of them you will change, either change some letters in it or add some other letters to it. Like for child and children, you would add the REN to child to get children. But for goose, changing singular goose to plural geese, you realize they actually change the 2 O's and add 2 E's. So those are rules that you need to remember. So you need to go back on so for example,
yeah, use it tailing.
one man and many what?
Men.
Men. How would you spell buses? Hold on, don't spell it
B-U-S-E-S.
yet. Don't spell it yet. Which of the rules apply to the word bus?
2.
Number 2, because it ends with a S. So if it ends with an S, all we had to do is just add ES. All right? There's a list of irregular verbs up there. So you know, 1 foot, many feet. 1 tooth, many teeth. So for the word for calf now, because we see some calf up there. So now, which of the rules would apply to calf? How calf spell?
Let's repeat.
Which of the rules would apply to the word calf?
Rule 5.
Rule number 5. If it ends with an F, you remove the F and add VES. Which of the rules would apply to key?
Rule 3.
Rule 3. Which of them? We see one with consonant plus Y, and we see one with vowel. One with vowel. All right. So it is KEY. So there is a vowel right before the Y. Therefore, this rule number 3 with the vowel would apply. We just add an S. Which other one should I look at? The one with the 2 mouse. The 2 rats looking something. Which of the rule would you look at for that? You would just know that that is an irregular plural. So we have 1 mouse, but many mice. And guys, to remember this, sometimes it's quite confusing, you know. This one is quite confusing sometimes, the mouse and the mice. But remember the song, 3 blind mice. It never say 3 blind mice, you know, nor 3 blind mouses. It says 3 blind mice. So mice is plural form for mouse. Alrighty. Anything else that anybody didn't quite get? Nastasia, did you click on the last link? All right,
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
all right, Deisha. All right, Nastasia, good. All right, so I'm seeing abstract for Deisha, for Athena, and for Simone. All right. Well done, guys. These are all 10s. All right, well done. All right, I think we have exhausted nouns. Let me see what would, so next class, let me tell you what you need to read upon for next class. We're starting at, well, these are examples of singular nouns in sentences and plural nouns. So for our next class, we're still gonna be on nouns. All right, because we didn't do collective nouns. So that's where we will pick up from for next class. And then we go to pronouns. All right, so collective nouns. And we can probably just finish off with collective nouns. So examples of singular and plural nouns, I'm not going to give you that because you've done the worksheet. So we're not going to through that now. But as it comes on, I think this is just one page, so we could finish off with nouns. So for collective nouns, these are nouns that name a group of items or a group of things. Once I hear the word collective, you know that it's a collection of things. So they usually take single form, even though they refer to a group of things. And this is because the members act in unison. So if we're talking about a choir, say for this example is down there, the choir performed a nice song. We're talking about one choir and they did one collective something. They did something collectively. The members acted in unison. So this now would usually take a single form. There is, however, everything of an exception. There's an exception. In some cases, collective nouns may be used to refer to a group which is ununited, or in other words, they have independent opinions and or actions towards something. For this case now, requires collective nouns to be handled as plural. So once the collective noun are acting in unison, we usually use them in, handle them as being singular. But once there are some differences, some things that are different in it, some persons acting different or behaving different or whatever it is, we handle it as a plural. So an example is the juries were not able to agree on the judgment. That is, juries right there is the collective noun, because you know that you have more than one person's making up a jury. However, if the jury had come up to an agreement, it would be the jury were able to make the jury was able to agree on a judgment. That is because they acted in unison. So we say jury and we say was, singular. However, juries is being handled as plural here because there are some disagreements happening between them. Good. And that would be it for nouns for tonight. And that is also where we would end our lesson for tonight. So tonight we have exhausted nouns. So for next week class, we're just going to pick up, do a little revision, and then we move on to pronouns for next week. So what I want you to do for homework is I want you to read up.
Miss, when I finish,
Read up on pronouns and read up on the other parts of speech. Was that Nastasia?
yes, miss.
All right, don't move as it, Nastasia. All right, so ladies, excepting for Nastasia, I am going to wish you a pleasant night and a fabulous week. And I will see you guys again on Tuesday at 8. Thank you for joining. Stacy was here with us on YouTube. I don't know what happened to Stacy, but she was here with us. Thank you for joining, Stacy. And we'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll have the rest of the entourage from YouTube next week as well. So for now, I'm going to bid you farewell, as I said before. So Have a great night and be blessed. Whenever you read, you watch the video and you go through, just please remember, even persons here on Zoom, if you did not remember to like and subscribe, you can like and subscribe. Press the notification bell so you'll be notified. You know, so one hand helps the other. Logging out now, so see you next week. Guys on Zoom, don't leave us yet. All right.